If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well.
Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again and welcome to episode number 196 of the Career Mode Road to Glory here on FIFA 15. We start this Saturday evening with a game at home against Manchester United. Pretty big game, to be fair. The last time we played them, at the end, towards the end of last season, we ended up losing 4-0. So there's definitely some payback to be earned here in this one. We're currently 4th, they're currently 6th. But obviously with a win they could go above us because obviously the season is very early on in its course, and of course the league is very tight as such. So we could do with at least a draw. A win would be marvellous, but we just don't want a repeat of what happened last year. They've got Pjanic in the midfield again. They're playing that 4-1-4-1 formation that seemed to work so very well against us last year, which is strange because it's a very defence-minded formation, but they were able to get a 4-1 victory against, or 4-0 victory against us. So I did want to avoid that this time around if possible. We started off on the front foot. In fact, Kwesi Appiah gets crunched by Phil Jones here. He was eventually going to get a booking for that, but we get a corner thanks to the shot from Toni Kroos. It's going to be James Ward-Prowse to whip it into the box, headed towards Timo Werner, but it's actually John Stones that gets on the end of the cross to give us a 1-0 lead after just 8 minutes. I don't score many goals from corners this year. Last year on FIFA 14, it was a good source of goals for me. Crossing the ball in from out wide, or obviously having a corner or two. But this year, FIFA 15, I haven't really found that good avenue to try and pursue getting good goals. It's mainly been kind of catching teams on the counter-attack and playing through balls on the floor and just utilising the pace of my strikers, especially in this series, that's been the main source of goals. But nice to get one from across there. Paul Downing coming in to this one for a tired Matteo Masaccio, and how is that for a big cheeky toe to block that shot from Manuel? What am I even talking about? From Marouane Fellaini. Now, having his shirt tugged there, Fellaini, but obviously a big, tall, strong player, stays off the challenge of the defender. Luke Shaw gets it inside to Valencia. Rooney backheels it towards Fellaini. I thought I'd done enough to stop them from having a chance there. Fellaini gets back to the ball first, squares it to Rooney, 1-1 after 38 minutes. So they weren't behind for too long, Man United, and that left us with effectively 45 to 50 minutes worth of football left to play to try and get ourselves a second if we could. Mane leaves the defender on his arse there. Nice ball into the box. Didn't really attack it too much, James Ward-Prowse, but eventually able to knock it down to just Strihel Georgiev, who has the shot, and somehow we haven't been able to get that into the back of the net from the rebound either. So we head into the second half, still 1-1. Some strong challenges continuing to go in from the Man United backline. Timo Werner turns it inside into his favoured right foot. Good cross, but James Ward-Prowse's header is just nowhere near good enough. Absolute 50-pence head, and it bounces well outside the goal and well off target. But Paul Downing picks that off. He's having a very good game, actually, coming in for Matteo Masaccio. He's actually rated the exact same as John Stones at 82. So it is perhaps a bit of a shame that he doesn't get as much first-team football, but he's been very, very solid in this game against Manchester United. So pleased that we have that strength in depth now this season, more so than any other. And to be fair, I could field any 11 this season, and I feel confident that we could get victories. We come close, though, to conceding a goal to go behind there. But Pjanic's dinked effort comes down off the top of the bar and goes out, luckily for me. So we've got 15 minutes left to go in the game. Ivaz plays a nice through ball here for Georgiev, trying to get it onto his left foot. Works it back to Ivaz, who has the shot with his left foot. He scored a very good left-footed strike from about the same sort of range against Derby a couple of episodes ago, but this time couldn't get it on target, was well wide, and that means that we get a 1-1 draw at home against Manchester United. Now, I think that's a decent result. After losing 4-0 last year, to get a 1-0 draw, very pleasing. So we head into the Champions League away from home against Juventus, the side that we said probably going to be, if not definitely going to be, the main rivals for us for the top of the group spot. They have 4 points after 2 games. We have 4 points after 2 games. We both drew a Leverkusen. We both beat Marseille. So it's the battle of the big two, so to speak, in the group right now. We're away from home. They've got Berardi, Kwadwo Asamoah and Rossetti as their main striker. I don't know who Rossetti is. You guys will have to let me know in the comment section down below. But it's a 4-3-2-1, a very narrow formation. So I was hoping that if I could get the ball out wide and try and stretch their midfield three, then maybe we could find some space in behind. But we're starting a very strong lineup. Obviously, Yusuf Paulsen back into the starting lineup this time, as well as Matteo Masaccio, despite the fact that Paul Downing had a very good game previously. Great feat by Georgiev to get past the defender there, and after just 3 minutes, we show our intentions for this game. We might be away from home, but we are going for it here in the Champions League. They've got Hugo Lloris in goal, Juventus here. They do tend to, in career mode, buy a big-name goalkeeper at the beginning of any particular save. Normally, they tend to go for Thibaut Courtois. That tends to be the scripted transfer that happens. This time around, though, it's Hugo Lloris in this particular save. And we're still on top here. Opening 10-15 minutes or so, Ward-Prowse with a cross. It's John Stones again with a header from a corner to give us an opening goal early on. They get a free kick, though, just before half-time here. As you can see, 38th minute. It's Rossetti to take it. It's bit close to get it up and down, you would have thought, over the top of the wall and back down towards the top corner, but he does get it on target, and it needed saving by Areola, and he's done very well when he's come in for Marcus Hutchinson Areola this season. I wasn't too keen on his debut. He made a couple of not dodgy saves, just, you know, when the goalkeeper just kind of stands there and watches the ball go into the back of the net rather than trying to make a save. Did that a couple of times, but since he's kind of gained his confidence from getting a couple of clean sheets under his belt, he seems like a very capable goalkeeper, and I'm, in the end, very pleased with the free signing that we made at the beginning of this particular transfer window, or this particular season. But we're in the second half now. Paulsen trying to get a second, but we can't get the ball past Hugo Lloris for a second time. He's a very good goalkeeper, obviously, one of the best in Europe, if not best in the world. And trying to get the ball past Hugo Lloris for on more than one occasion is more difficult than it may first appear. But getting the ball past Areola is proving to be more difficult than it may first appear as well. They've taken Rossetti off, brought on Fernando Llorente, obviously a much more strong physical presence, aerial presence for them up top, and they're actually trying to have the shot on the ground, though, drilled very well towards the bottom corner, but it just trickled past that far post. Areola probably had his angles covered, but had it been on target, it may have snuck into that bottom corner. Less than 15 minutes to go, though, as we cut into the box with Georgiev, lays it back to Paulsen, hits the post. Lloris, with an odd attempt at a save second time around, just kind of palms it back out into the middle of things rather than actually saving the ball and clutching it into his grasp. Fortunately, though, he didn't just kind of, or fortunately for him, he didn't just kind of throw a leg at it like Claudio Bravo did in the Golden Oldies series yesterday, which still is pissing me off. But we're still 1-0 up. Luckily for us, we were able to keep them out continually for the majority of the game. We pick off the ball here with Timo Werner. It's a lovely ball into Paulsen, perfectly weighted, and this time Hugo Lloris can't get down to it. He's near post. Could have hit the post again, actually, because it bent in towards the woodwork, but expertly placed into that bottom corner. We have a 2-0 lead, and that is game over, or so you might have thought. But Juve are going to come at us again. But a strange first attempted touch from Bonucci, and then he gives it straight to Paulsen. Borderline whether Georgiev was offside or not, but the linesman kept his flag down, and we in the end are going to win the game 3-0. Not necessarily a deserved scoreline, it definitely flatters us, but I'd say on the balance of things we definitely deserved the victory, but perhaps a 2-1 victory, if there were going to be 3 goals in the game, would have been more apt. But 3 points are 3 points, and if they're going to come in a more dramatic fashion for us, then we will definitely take it. So back to Barclays Premier League action, and it's off to Loftus Road. Speaking of the Golden Oldies Challenge, QPR currently 19th in the table. We are 7th, but with a game in hand, and if we can win this game in hand, we will go from 7th to 2nd. So there's definitely the incentive to get 3 points in this one. They're starting Santiago Bologna up top. Obviously, we've previously mentioned that he used to be at Cambridge United in our League One season on loan from West Brom, but he's starting up top alongside Andy Weimann, actually, the Austrian, formerly of Aston Villa. Now actually plays for Derby in real life, but a QPR here on this save. We're starting Saido Berahino in this one, as well as Kishna as well. So there's a couple of rotation players in for this one, as a few players were still tired from the Juventus game. But I tried to keep the core of the team the same. So we've got James Ward-Prowse in the middle. You've still got Matteo Masaccio, etc. at the back. But Georgiev goes down in the box after just 3 minutes, and it wasn't the best of tackles. You'll see from the replay, Harriman, there's no arguing here. He's trying to argue his case to the referee, saying he doesn't agree, but you'll see from the replay, he's nowhere near the ball. It's just, he's almost wiped him out before the ball has even arrived. Down goes Georgiev. Penalty to Cambridge United after just 3 minutes. The Bulgarian will dust himself off and take it himself and scores into the top right-hand corner. Cambridge United 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Perfect start to the game. Thank you very much. 15 minutes in, though, they're going to have themselves a chance. Stephen Colker gets the ball across to Jack Rodwell. This is actually a very nice move. Santiago Bologna into Petrasso. Don't really know who he is. Trying to block off the shot at the near post. In the end, he cuts inside not once but twice and goes for the shot to the far post and brings them back on level terms after just 15 minutes. So it's 1-1 as we headed a little bit further into the first half. Literally only a little bit further, though. Saido Berahino gets into the box. Corker's nowhere near the ball. They're suicidal at the back here, Queen's Park Rangers. 2 penalties in the opening 20 minutes. A yellow card for Colker here. I think that should be a red, personally. Nowhere near the ball. Berahino is about to put the ball into the back of the net. Doesn't matter, though, because Georgiev does the deed instead himself. 2-1 we lead. 2 penalties for Georgiev as we head into the second half. Past the hour mark now. It's Matt Phillips down the left-hand side. Brilliant feat to get it around Marco Polenge. Matteo Masacio's trying to close him down, as is Polenge here, my right back. Stands it up to Vyman, flicks it on to Yoon Suk Young, and the technique there is out of this world, in fairness, to drill that hard and low into the bottom corner. Just wraps his foot around it beautifully. I don't mind conceding a goal that is that good. 2-2 is the final scoreline. We get a point from Queen's Park Rangers, and that will boost us up to second in the table, I believe. We'll have a look in a second. The next game is in the Capital One Cup round of 16 against Sheffield United. It actually boosts us up to fourth in the league table. A couple of teams above us also had a game in hand and were able to pick up points in those games as well. So we're in fourth, but we're only a point off third. 6 points, though, off the lead now. Chelsea and Everton leading the way so far, both on 22. But we've scored 20 goals this season, conceded 10. Pleased with how this season is going so far. Top of our Champions League group, and still definitely in the hunt for Barclays Premier League title. So pleased with how things are going. Hopefully you guys are as well. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, of course. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check the channel page for anything you may have missed over the past few days, whether it be this series, the My Player series, the Career Mode Road to Glory series, which I've just mentioned, the Barcelona series is what I meant to say, or the last final game episode of the Golden Oldies series. The final episode will go up tomorrow, so definitely make sure you check the channel page for that tomorrow afternoon. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.